And now we would like to move a bit to rural areas. One of the key aspects is about capacities. And we will hear from Gabriel O'Connell, who is the CEO of Monaghan Integrated Development. Is a local development enterprise, correct me if I'm wrong, working for the last 20 years in local development, and is very deeply involved in the implementation of Leader CLLD. And in fact, he will introduce a program called Innovative Communities that they are implemented in rural Ireland. So Gabriel, my colleague, will share the slide. Please, let's try to stick to the timing, 7 minutes if possible. We have our panelists waiting. I asked them to start. We will start at 11. I promise we will try to end on time in their session. So I thank you for your understanding. And now the floor is yours, Gabriel.
Thank you, Enrique, and thanks for the invitation. Good morning, everybody. So I'm just going to speak this morning about a leader cooperation project, which 6 implementing partners here in Ireland are working on collaboratively through the Leader Cooperation Programme in the border region here with Northern Ireland. So effectively, next slide, please, and we'll motor through this. So this is where we are, bordering Northern Ireland in the southern border counties. So again, Innovating Communities delivers free training and capacity building and mentoring around a tool called design thinking, which is a person-centered design approach. So we're aiming to strengthen local resilience, local development, and community-led action. Quite similar actually to the aims and ambitions of the previous project. So again, Innovation Communities is trying to build this social innovation capacity and improve the type of leader applications and leader projects that are coming forward under CLLD. So we're seeking new solutions, I suppose, to the typical type of problems, but rather than typically asking people in a community consultation, what is your needs right now as we enter into 5 years of a new leader funding cycle, we are introducing this tool as an ongoing tool that consults with the community and invites them to bring forward their challenges that they're experiencing within their communities. Let them be social challenges, small business challenges, etc. They have the opportunity to bring them forward, to get the challenges acknowledged by colleagues on a website, and if there's enough interest, we turn it into a capacity building training workshop over a period of time. So again, very much about strengthening resilience, local development, community-led action. So that's the key objective there. And it comes down to understanding people and allowing them to define what the problems are, but involving them in the solutions. Next slide, please. Okay, so just very quickly, design thinking. This is the toolbox, if you like, of design thinking. Communities, community planning exercise, as we said, tend to be quite static, but with design thinking method, it's an ongoing iterative process that communities can engage with. Rural areas are dynamic and their needs are changing, on an ongoing basis. So, we believe that communities and small businesses need these tools to try out and experiment new ways of dealing with the challenges that they're looking at, and that programs like Leader CLLD can be more responsive on an ongoing basis over a period of typically 5 years in a Leader program. So Innovating Communities invites people to identify the challenges, put them up on a platform website. Other people can come along and join the challenge, back the challenge, get involved in the training. So a very democratic way of identifying needs, identifying challenges, and working together collaboratively to deal with the challenges. So there's 5 distinct stages. I'm not going to go into them there, but empathy and clearly understanding the need of those affected by the problem, clearly defining the problem, generating banks of ideas, testing and retesting the ideas until final working solutions can be materialized. So that's the general process. It's learning by doing. often starting with simple challenges to get familiar with the process and build confidence and skills. So the aim is to strengthen this local resilience and capacity to problem solve. Next slide, please. Okay, so the just getting into some of the photographs of some of the projects that we have here. And again, some of the challenges that we have come across in introducing this concept of social innovation. So I suppose helping people to view needs through the lens of a challenge, you know, and an opportunity rather than a need is something that takes a little bit of time to embed. Getting some people to stick to training over a period of time, because many of these challenges are quite difficult challenges and can take a little bit of time to define and to generate ideas around, etc. So a little bit of a change in thinking and process there. And a good IT platform we have found is very important to be able to gather the challenges and manage the interactions with the training. And although IT is an important enabler for capturing and managing the challenges, in-person workshops are critical, and we certainly found that through the COVID period. So there's no substitute for in-person workshops. Interestingly, we find young people very open to the design thinking and person-centered design process, probably similar in other projects. But it's we do hear in LEADER and in other EU-funded projects difficulties in engaging young people. But through tools like this, we have found that we can effectively engage with them. Next slide, please.
Gabriel, if possible, a couple of more minutes.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So what is needed for better local innovation? So capacity for local innovation needs to be supported and developed with suitable tools like design thinking, person-centered design, so ways of helping the people view their challenges and their needs of their community. I don't think it's sufficient to any longer just engage at the beginning of a 5-year cycle like LEADER to ask them what their needs are and then deliver a 5-year program. We need to continually engage with our communities, with our businesses to ask them. We need to co-design and collaborate on an ongoing basis around the changes, and we need to change our communities from passive communities who receive EU-funded projects to communities that are engaged and to take ownership of the task. Such engagement tools can become part of new rural development programs like LEADER and maybe part of the Smart Village toolbox. So, you know, Smart Villages is all about people and using their knowledge and using ICT as an enabler. And just the photos there, just as a group of young people who are developing monthly newsletters in their schools for their local community around climate action and newsletters with good practices, etc. The other photograph here is around a disability group looking at developing open access and more inclusive access for community gardens projects, etc. Now we have a whole range of innovative projects coming forward and being worked on within the 6 areas that the project is operating in. So the only further thing I would say is that direct funding, I would agree with the previous speaker, direct funding from the EU for social innovative projects and for experimentation is critical. The normal channel of fundings can be quite slow and bureaucratic, and when local communities engage and come up with actions, they need funding quickly to move this forward, or otherwise the interest wanes. So thank you very much, Enrique, and we close at that.
Thank you, Gabriel, for sticking to the time. I think a fantastic presentation with a new angle. We focused here more about the need of creating this social capital and the support for the communities to be innovative, and then interesting experiences come up from that.